In another area of leadership that I think is important is the political aspect. I think political skills, first of all, I think political skills overlap with leadership skills a lot. We don't necessarily think of that on a regular basis, but when you get right down to, for me, a definition of politics is the art of getting enough people to agree with you to get something done, and that might be to get elected. It might be to the political skills to get a group to do something you want done. You could say that's a lot like a definition of leadership. But when you include politics in a discussion of leadership, a couple of somewhat unique things I bring up and talk about. One, I take Tip O'Neill's All Politics is Local and convert it into a message for students on leadership, but from a more of a political perspective, that you always need to be sensitive to your audience. What Tip O'Neill was always saying, the people back home see things through their own lens, through their own eyes, through their own experiences. And you have to understand that as from his point of view as a politician. I say from a leadership point of view, leaders need to understand that their followers see things from a different point of view, or the people you need to reach or influence see things from a different point of view. And if you don't appreciate that, if you don't approach things with that understanding, you're going to be off message. You're going to frame your message in the wrong way. You're going to highlight the wrong part of the message because you haven't taken the time to appreciate what the audience is really thinking about. And so as I teach leadership and I talk about leadership, I think political skills really fit in. And I certainly believe the old all politics is local, or make sure you understand your audience and speak to them. And I remind students when I say that because it comes across like you change your message. You adjust it. You don't change your positions. You don't change where you're coming from or what you're focusing on. But there's an opportunity to frame things in a more effective way, highlight what really is important, respond to the person or the individual or the community's real priorities, go with their priorities in terms of communicating, or at least bringing them into the conversation in a way that shows you have an understanding and appreciation of where they're coming from. Now, it puts you in a stronger position with them. You're connecting with them. You're not just coming across as a robot spitting out your response. You're adjusting it to fit the audience, and therefore you have a better opportunity to impact that audience, whether it's an individual or a group or a community or whatever. If you just understand, knowing where they're coming from, understanding how they see things, and then framing your message, working your priorities in such a way that are more likely to connect and get their support and interest.